They're gonna take away the right for you to kill your babies. Women, you gotta help fight, because it's just, we don't want people to have a say in abortion. That's really the bottom line. They don't want you to vote on it, whether you're pro-life, pro-choice, pro-don't care, whatever. Yeah, no, you don't have a say, because it's in the Constitution. See, that's really why they don't want Roe overturned, because some states will ban the sacrament. So here we are with a Now This Opinion video. And you can't make this stuff up, people. Abortion provider Dr. Stephanie Ho. Let's hear what she has to say.
We are on the verge of losing the right to safe and legal abortion.
We're on the verge of gaining the right to have a say in the matter. There is a positive way to look at it. After all, women were given the right to vote 100 years ago, and you and your pro-abort types, Dr. Ho, you don't want women who are pro-life to have a say. That's really what this comes down to, people.
I'm a doctor in Arkansas. It's where I've called home since I was 8. And it is where every day we are fighting just to practice medicine.
Well, that's certainly one way to put it. Practice medicine. I love the euphemisms. Oh, it's reproductive health care. I guess abortion kind of has a not very positive ring to it. Oh, by the way, Dr. Ho, what did your former governor, President Clinton, have to say about abortions? They should be legal, safe, and rare. You forgot that rare part, though, right?
Arkansas politicians passed what's called a trigger ban. What this means is that if the Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade, abortion will be outlawed in Arkansas.
It's the politicians that were elected by the people of Arkansas. We assume that the people of Arkansas knew whom they were voting in, which leads me to believe the people of Arkansas wanted these people in the state legislature and the governorship. I know.
Immediately. Yeah. And when I say immediately, I mean immediately.
A little bit of hyperbole here, people, just a little.
If a patient were to be in the middle of their care or their procedure, the appointment would have to end right then and there, finished or not.
Bullshit. I looked over the bill. I did not see anything that said that. But go right on ahead with your propaganda.
It's becoming a hostile and dangerous world for patients who have wombs.
Especially the ones inside their mother's wombs who have wombs. I know. Half of the kids aborted are female, but let's not even talk about that.
Other states have trigger ban laws in place, including Missouri, Tennessee, and Kentucky, where politicians passed these types of laws this year.
You mean the politicians that were duly elected by the people of these states, who knew who they were voting for?
Other states like Mississippi, Louisiana, North and South Dakota already have trigger bans on the books.
You see, the whole thing, why I hype on this vote thing. Currently, we cannot vote on banning abortion, right? It's in the Constitution, allegedly, in the penumbras of the shadows, somewhere in there, right? And so these people do not want you to have a say in this. See, it's in the Constitution. You have no right, even women who aren't pro-abortion.
Arkansas already makes it incredibly difficult to access an abortion.
Tell us about the horrible shit women have to go through to get an abortion in Arkansas.
My patients are forced to listen to state-mandated counseling, which is designed to deceive and shame them about choosing abortion.
Maybe it's pointing out that there are other options? Is that shame and deceit? Is that what that is?
Patients then have to wait 48 hours before they can get their care.
In some states, you have to wait 72 hours before you can buy a handgun. And the Second Amendment is actually in the Constitution, so I'm not seeing what the problem is so far.
The state basically puts them in a timeout for 48 hours.
Yeah.
Grown, capable, and sometimes desperate patients in need in a timeout.
Grown, capable patients in need who evidently do not understand how the birds and the bees work and how available birth control everywhere you look is a CVS and a Walmart and another pharmacy with all kinds of stuff. All they gotta do is take it. I know, but they're grown and they're capable.
I had one patient who I'll call AJ. She was around 6 weeks pregnant based on her ultrasound when she came in for her first appointment.
And now you're going to tell me the evil white Republican pro-life politicians somehow prevented her from getting an abortion.
But I was about to go out of town for work, so she would be about 8 weeks by the time she could take the medication to end her pregnancy.
You were going out of town, so you couldn't help her. And since there are only 3 full-time abortion doctors in Arkansas, the other 2 were too busy to prescribe drugs to her. Is that? So what you're really saying here is the state had nothing to do with this. This was you not having time. Not even sure why this is in this video, to be honest with you.
I remember she wouldn't look at me while I explained why it would be 2 weeks. She just stared at the wall, and with tears welling up in her eyes, she said, "I just want you to know that it's really cruel that you guys make women wait and get more pregnant before they can have an abortion. It's a total mind f***."
You guys meant you, Dr. Ho, not the state of Arkansas, which had absolutely nothing to do with you leaving for 2 weeks for work. This is on you.
Keep in mind that there are only 3 full-time abortion providers in the state of Arkansas, a state of about 3 million people.
Where about 3,000 women are too stupid to take birth control and use a condom at the same time.
And we don't just see people who live in Arkansas. We also see patients from surrounding states.
Why in the world would somebody from any other state drive to Little Rock? Little Rock's in the middle of the freaking state of Arkansas. It's a long drive, isn't it?
A majority of patients have to travel long distances, sometimes 4 to 5 hours just one way, to get the care that they need.
Well, why don't you be an entrepreneur and open up an abortion clinic up in Fayetteville or Hot Springs or some of these other places that are underserved by abortion? You could make a killing. Pun intended.
And to make it worse, they have to make that trip 2 to 3 times.
That's legitimate beef, right? You got to drive up from Fayetteville or somewhere. It's 4 or 5 hours to get into Little Rock. But I mean, you could go to a hotel and have a girls' weekend or something, right? You know, do your thing, get your counseling, wait 2 days, get your abortion.
Already, 1 in 3 pregnant capable patients of reproductive age live in a state where abortion could be outlawed if Roe is overturned.
You mean they elected people to their legislatures with their votes, even women, to ban abortion?
That's 25 million people.
Yeah.
25 million patients like AJ who will have no choice but to have a child that they are not mentally or financially capable of supporting.
AJ's problem was you weren't around. Number 2, if they're not mentally or financially capable of supporting a child, use birth control for the love of God.
And every day, we're getting one step closer to that very possible future. States run by anti-abortion politicians are racing, tripping over each other even, to pass the most extreme bans on abortion so they could be the first to challenge Roe v. Wade at the Supreme Court.
The politicians that were elected by the people of the states. I hate to keep hammering the point, guys, but this is what this is all about. They do not want you to vote on this because they know they do not have majority support in this country for this evil, demonic shit called abortion.
For 46 years, the right to safe and legal abortion has been guaranteed in this country.
By judicial fiat, not by a vote of the people, Dr. Ho.
If anti-abortion politicians get their way, in huge swaths of the United States, that guarantee will be gone.
I will say it one more time. It is not the politicians who are anti-abortion. It is the people who elect the politicians that are anti-abortion, meaning the people are anti-abortion. But you do not want us to have a vote because you'd lose that vote, wouldn't you, Dr. Ho? Link below, James Maxwell. Thank you for listening.